can feel my body cold against the concrete, but I can't seem to get enough. My mind is fixed.
Hey everyone, today I want to talk about it's the FujiFilm 35mm f2. I spoke about it in a video that I did the other day, but now I specifically want to talk about this lens. So let's get into it. I just want to mention that this is my first prime lens purchase in the FujiFilm system. I currently have I started out with this 18 to 55mm prime. It's not a prime lens, it's the kit lens. It's an 18 to 55mm kit lens. It is a really awesome lens, f2.8 to 4, which is much better than my cheap Canon kit lens, but obviously way more expensive. Anyway, great lens. But the problem with that lens is and I found myself hovering between 28 and 35mm on that kit lens at most of my shoots. At that focal length, I'm at about f4, which is not a great f-stop if you're wanting a lot of bokeh, if you want a background blur, if you want subject isolation for portraits. Did some portraits for my wife the other day for her business. I just wasn't happy with the background blur. It didn't isolate the models enough. And so I did a little bit of research. A lot of people prefer I think it's the 1.4, the 35mm 1.4, a lot more expensive. But the more I looked at it, I was quite happy with the bokeh that comes on this lens. Anyway, so that's the background story. Just to talk about the lens a little bit. All FujiFilm lenses are made really well. FujiFilm lenses, if you don't know the system, come with aperture rings. The aperture ring on my kit lens is very smooth, so I very often accidentally move the aperture ring, whereas this is a bit more clicky. It could be a bit more to my taste, but it's acceptable. The focus ring is great. It's not huge, but it's smooth, works great. I haven't done a lot of manual focus with this, but it is great. Built well, weather resistant. Now, one of the things is my Fujifilm X-H1 is weather resistant, and my sister-in-law is buying a camera and she wants to get the X-T30, and you know, she says the weather resistance isn't important. But I also said that, and then I was taking photos the other day. It was raining and a car drove past through a puddle and I was soaked. My camera was soaked, there was water in the grooves, it was wet. Had I had any other camera, if I had my Canon with me, it would have been totaled. This camera's fine. So weather resistance has its place. This is the cheapest prime lens that Fuji make, so it's affordable and weather resistant. What? I'm not much of a talk about the product kind of a guy, so I'm gonna head out, I'm gonna take a bunch of photos, and you can have a look at them.
This is a danger zone. Back up and get me home. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Back up and get me. So put your hand in mine. Follow me. Let me waste your time.
Okay, so for the bokeh fanatics like myself, you'll see the photos that I've taken today at the coffee shop, and not so much here at the golf course. I took a lot of wide-angle stuff here, but there's bokeh for days. And also, you know, I made a case for the fact that a 35mm is my favorite lens, there's a reason. It's not just because it was the cheapest, but because I really like it. The other comment is just on the sharpness. I'll zoom into one of the photos, but this lens is sharp. It's super sharp. Thanks so much for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel, please like the video. The whole point of this channel is to encourage creatives to use their tech to their advantage and not be crippled by it. Like, I really want to demystify tech and encourage guys to just use the technology to their advantage. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.